Starting off this LP the way I started Kirby's Dreamland 2 by showing off that I have Kirby's Dream Collection 20th anniversary, and that's how I'm playing this, and I'm flipping between things as fast as possible. Anywho, this is Kirby's Dreamland 3, released in 1990. I think it's like, oh gosh, it's like late for the SNES. It's like 95 at least, maybe 96 or 7. Although 7 would be really late for the SNES, but I think they were still. DKC3 was like 96, right? Because DKC3 was after Mario 64, so I think this was around the same time when it was like N64 was out, but they were still making games for the SNES. And this is a really, like, you know, the game looks beautiful. I'll just say that right now. That's gonna be like the main thing we're gonna be noticing, we're gonna be talking about. Well, we can only talk about it so much, so I might wear it out by the first episode. It's like, oh my gosh, this game is so beautiful. We have 6 partners and GUI. GUI is pretty pointless. Yeah. This 97, there we go. 97 is super late for the SNES. This title screen is definitely had a lot of caffeine. Anyway, look at how beautiful this game looks. This game has sort of a colored pencil sort of, yes, option. So exciting. I love how, like, Bauhaus or whatever that sound logo looks. This game basically is done in a colored pencil style. If you look really closely at Kirby's texture, you'll notice sort of like colored pencil hash lines, like shading on everything. Just giving you time to hear this melody. It's not the traditional Green Greens melody, but I still like it. This game has a great soundtrack. It's a very sort of unusual soundtrack. It's very hyper most of the time, and sometimes it has kind of a strange ambience, but it's very cool. And I was noticing recently that Nitro Rad, I've been watching a lot of Nitro Rad. He's awesome, and been noticing some songs from this. You know, as well as the sort of typical, you know, a lot of people use music from like Bomberman Hero and I don't know, sometimes Rocket Robot on Wheels, you know, if people know those games, but, you know, more people than you think use music from Bomberman Hero in their videos. It's just one of those soundtracks that's kind of iconic. This is a soundtrack that's kind of like that. It's not a super, like, famous game, but this soundtrack is honestly so iconic. What you'll notice is that, if you watched my Kirby's Dreamland 2 LP, or if you're familiar with Kirby's Dreamland 2, that we have 3 partners that carry over from the first game. Rick the Hamster, Kine the Ocean Sunfish, and Ku the Owl, currently with his back turned to the camera. And then we have GUI, who was in the first game, but he was kind of pointless. He's still pointless in this game. Pidge, the pigeon, Nago, the cat, and Choo Choo, the jelly. I think that's her name, Choo Choo. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much a lot of it is similar to Dreamland 2, but just better. There will be secrets in every level instead of 1 per world. Levels will be a lot longer, you know, a lot prettier, because this, you know, is a huge step up from the Game Boy. One thing that is a bit annoying about this game is that yay, Rick and Spark is the same thing as it was in Dreamland 2, so that's kind of cool. When you hear that diddly-liddly, that wasn't very good, but you know what I mean, sound, that means that you are in an important room that contains the secret. And if you know anything about this game, you probably know that we've ruined the secret already. But we're gonna take care of that. Kirby's normal speed is kind of slow, so you want to be dashing basically all the time. In order to dash, you have to double tap the, like, the D-pad. And hitting a wall or an enemy, anything really, will kill your dash speed. So you have to be double tapping, and it's just kind of annoying to have to be double tapping all the time. It's a lot on your thumb. Playing this game can honestly give you a blister. I don't know if I've gotten a blister per se for it, but I've definitely made my thumb sore by this game, like double tapping all the time. But that's honestly, that happens in a lot of Kirby games. Also showing off Nago's triple jump. I think it's a triple jump, yeah. 1, 2, oh no, 1, 2, come on. It is a triple jump if you would just show it off. Anyway, 8 abilities, 6 partners. I think that makes like 24, well, plus Kirby. I think there are 8 abilities. Yeah, that would make sense. I was really bothered by the last game having only 7 power-ups because it was like not an even number. Although 7 is technically like a perfect number. Hold on. 6 minutes and 48 seconds, and I can't even remember what I was saying. There's something about like how there are 8 power-ups in this game. There are 7 in Kirby's Dreamland 2. The dash thing is kind of annoying, but like we'll make do. We'll put up with it for the whole game. Yeah, so now we're just kind of... I mean, it's still a fairly fast-paced game if you're just good at it, but, you know, Kirby games are kind of deceptive. Like, it's pretty easy to just, like, keep screwing up and bumping into enemies. They're kind of not really designed to be fast-paced platformers. Not in the way that, like, Mario and Sonic are, so... I don't know, but I still love them because they're colorful and awesome and thoughtful. And if you jump at just the right time, you can nab that heart star. It's a heart star. The collectibles are very weird. They're heart stars, so they're hearts and then stars. They kind of like morph back and forth. They're in a transitory state of being. Yeah, the overworld maps are really pretty. Every world has 6 levels, and there are 5 worlds, and it feels really symmetrical. You know, Dreamland 2 is, you know, it's sort of like, oh, World 1 is super small, and it only has, like, 3 levels, and then World 7 has 7 levels, and, you know, this is all just very symmetrical. I mean... It made sense what Kirby's Dreamland 2 was doing because it was like, you know, the later levels sort of got more interesting. There was more to do. So, you know, the first couple levels were really just treated as tutorials, and it was like it didn't want the easy part of the game to like drag on and on and on before it got to the hard part. But still, it's nice to have some symmetry. The mountains in this level is beautiful. And also, Choo Choo turns into a hot air balloon with her fire ability, which is really fun. There's a lot of stuff like that. Just different creatures transform into very interesting and weird things using the different power-ups. These needle guys are jerks. Yeah. This song is kind of chill. Bow, 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 now, now, now. Oh boy, so yeah, I've been watching a lot of Nitro Rad. The story of that is, and like, yes, I've seen some of his videos before. Like, he's into kind of like, that whole world of like obscure 90s platformers, like 3D platformers, and I totally dig that stuff, like Rayman 2 and Space Station Silicon Valley and Rocket Robot on Wheels. So I've watched some of his stuff like that. I watched like Space Station Silicon Valley, and that was several months ago, and I was like, yeah, his videos are really good. And then oh, what am I trying to do? I'm like, oh, how did I... Yeah, I'm like, oh, how did I miss the secret in this level? And I think I'm going back and looking for it. But, John O'Chrome, who's been, like, one of my heroes and one of my favorite Let's Players, artists, people in general, did an incredible, surreal, crazy parody video for April Fools this year. And then he tweeted something about it, and he was like, oh, thank you to Nitro Rad for inspiring me, because his April Fool's specials are always glorious. So yeah, I watched a few Nitro Rad April Fool's videos in reverse chronological order, and that was fun. I've never watched the Eric Andre show, but I kind of know what it is because I have so many friends who are into it. I love how, like, Choo Choo turns into, like, a power tool, or almost like one of those, like, teacup rides at an amusement park when you get the stone ability. That's totally not what it is, but that's what it makes me think of. It's like, here we go round in the teacups, That's another nice detail about this game is that the other animals get so angry when you pick somebody else. Or sad, like Kine will have or Rick will have a tear strolling down his face. Strolling. Why did I say strolling? Streaming down his face. Words. And there was the door. There's a door that hided from me. So I just happened to have Choo Choo, and Choo Choo gives him a hug, and that's what you're supposed to do. It's very obscure. Especially for the second level in the entire game. It's a very obscure puzzle. I remember, like, my first exposure to this LP, to this game, was Skull Kid 3's LP of it, and he was, like, super pissed off when he found out that, oh, you had to give him a hug? How was I supposed to know that? Except Skull Kid 3 doesn't sound like that. He sounds refined and cultured and British, and everybody who's British sounds, no, I don't know. Pretty much. British people are just better than us. I love British people. I know it's a stereotype, but really, I love you guys. I have so much admiration for you guys and the rock bands that you've produced, and the movies and the authors and the video games. Anyway, back to Nitro Rad. Wow. Nitro Rad, yeah, he does a lot of 3D platformers, and he does a lot of weird indie games, and he does a lot of horror games, actually. And I'm not, like, I've never been super into horror, but I'm kind of, through him, I'm kind of getting into it. I don't know if this counts as horror. It's a little bit, but I watched his video on Omori, and it resonated with me. Like, I was like, holy crap! I almost started crying at one point just watching his review of Omori. And I was like, holy crap! I need to play this game. So I stopped watching the video after a certain point because I didn't want any major spoilers for the game. Anyway. And then, I've still been watching Softly Galoshes ASMR because she's awesome and I have a crush on her, and Goodnight Moon ASMR for the same reason, and because the Babblebrook videos are like some of the best world building in any I don't know, anything ever. Always check for the top of the screen. And I've been watching Rick Steves Europe, like a show that's usually on, like, I think it's channel 13 or WLIW 21. They're basically the same channel. just watching him walk around these European cities, and like I want to go over there so bad, to go to the Swiss Alps, go to Belgium, go to Amsterdam. Why Belgium? I don't know why Belgium in particular, but something about Belgium. I don't know, something about the architecture over there, the flavor, the culture, I don't know, the architecture, the old world feeling. I don't know. The artsiness. Not that I can't get inspired by dingy gray America. No, America isn't all dingy gray. And I love how Kirby just swallowed like 4 whole buffalo, like it was nothing. And that shows you that Kirby is not, you know, he may look like a pink gumball, but he is not to be trifled with. You know, like one of those like girl athletes who seems like kind of small in stature, but then like, you know, you find out that they're all muscle. That sounded weird, but trust me, I was like talking about a personal friend of mine. I wasn't trying to be creepy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the first video of Kirby's Dream Land 3.